many viewers have requested more videos where we compare different tuk-tuks. This isn't always easy. I do have a Bajaj Re, I do have a TVS King, so I can compare these two. Unless the company is prepared to lend me another one or somebody, I just can't do a video on other brands. But I can do it on these two. On this one, we drove down to the tunnel. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the tunnel because you'll just laugh at my pronunciation. But it's on Ternate Hwy. I'll probably pronounce that wrong. Anyway, the run is 12.3 kilometres. It's through very hilly roads, very bendy roads, lots of hairpin bends along there. So it's really comparing the two. It's putting hill climbing, cornering, some downhill, all combined. Like I say, total distance 12.3 kilometres we did. We've had a lot of comments, people saying, oh, it's the driver, it's a different driver, the driver one don't know how to drive properly. This is the same driver, it's me driving both of them. I do know how to drive. I was a truck driver for over 30 years. I've driven over 5 million kilometres. I do know how to drive and get the most out of a vehicle. So this is not down to driver. This is per tuk-tuk against tuk-tuk. Nothing else involved. Some say, oh, one isn't turned properly. They're both service regular. They're both tuned by the same mechanic. The mechanic has worked on Bajaj Re for years. He now works on TVS King. So he knows what he's doing. It's not down to tuning. Yes, the Bajaj is a carburetor version. I will say that. But when we go on runs with PRE South, there's a few offers with carburetor. Most of them have got the FIs, and on the flat the carburetor is staying with the FI. On the hills the carburetor version is climbing quicker than the Bajaj FI. So it's not down to it's a carburetor, because if anything the FI wouldn't do so well as the carburetor. That's our own experience. Ask anyone in PRE South group and they'll tell you that the carburetor versions climb hills quicker than they do, and it also stays with them on the flat and downhill. So it's a bit confusing here to see where we are a lot of the time, because I never intended to put these videos side by side. It's just something I realised I could do, and thought it would be of interest to you. But if you watch areas in the road, you can see early on the TVS is taking the lead. If you watch your gear changing and listen to the engine as well, you'll notice like there I just had to change down a gear in the Bajaj. The TVS King done most of this trip in 4th and 3rd gear. In the Bajaj I would have to go down to 2nd quite a lot, and that's the difference between the two. Cornering, I've spoke to this before in the previous video, the suspension is a lot firmer on a TVS, and it allows you to get around the corners. And when you're on a bendy road like this gets later on, it makes a lot of difference because you're maintaining your speed. You're coming out of a hairpin bend just that little bit faster, which means you've got that little bit more speed to climb the next hill. But anyway, enough waffle from me. Sit back and enjoy. And let's see how much quicker one is to the other, and see what you think. I will just say, Google says that you should do this in 18 minutes in the car. So we'll see how Tuk Tuks do the paper car. You can see at the moment the TVS, you just got a glimpse there, it's actually stuck behind the car, and it got stuck behind cars a couple of times on this trip. So if the TVS was getting slowed down by cars, there you can see the car in front. We're keeping a distance from her, but it is slowing us down. We could have been going faster if it wasn't for the car in front. You can see by my hand position on the Bajaj throttle there, but I've got it wide fully open most of the time. Yes, I come off when I go around corners, obviously, but I was giving it everything it had got. It might appear slow, but even now the video doesn't really show it. Most of this road is uphill, so it's climbing nearly all the way, and they're having to do another gear change. So it's certainly in a flat road, or I wouldn't have to change the gear like that. We've just gone past the 9-minute mark now. According to Google, if a car does it in 18 minutes, we should be just over halfway now. Now, if you're a car driver and watching this, I've read so much rubbish on Facebook, people saying, oh, they're slow, they'll only do 30 kilometres per hour. You wait and see what's slow. A car does this trip in 18 minutes. Let's see how fast these do it compared to a car. And then tell me that they're slow. And tell me why a little while ago was the TVS King stuck behind a car. You know, it's absolute rubbish. If you're going to comment on something, if you're a car driver, you've never owned one of these, don't comment on what you don't know. You've never driven one, you've never seen. You can see that car still in front of us, even round the bends, you know. The TVS is keeping up with it. There's no doubt about it. So, for those car drivers what make comments like, oh, they're slow, they shouldn't be on the national highway because they hold everything up. You don't know what you're talking about, you've never driven one. And it's just making you look stupid when you make comments like that. Because anyone what have driven, no different. There again, the TVS getting held up by a car, and even around the corners the TVS is keeping up with the car. Attempt by a cyclist then to slipstream us, wasn't able to do it, it was just too fast for him. Notice the TVS here has made the turn. The Bajaj is not there yet. Let's see how much longer it is before the Bajaj reaches that point and makes the turn. Wow, quite a bit longer by the looks of it. It's still not there. Round this next bend, the turn is, well, the TVS certainly in the lead by a long way there. No, we're still not on the turn, the Bajaj. Well, this surprised me actually. This is the first time I've watched this through side by side, and I am really shocked by this. And now it's coming to the turn. Finally it gets there. So I don't know, what's that? 2 minutes? I don't know. I didn't look at the time when the TVS made the turn, but there's certainly quite a lead by the TVS at this point. We'll run it all the way down to the start of the tunnel and see what the time difference is when we get there. We're just coming up to 17 minutes now. If they're going to do it as quick as a car, they should be approaching the tunnel any second now, or within the next minute. And there's the first bars for the tunnel, for the TVS. What are we on? 17 minutes 21. And the TVS King is at the tunnel. 2 minutes 30 roughly. 17 minutes 30 for the TVS. So it's actually done it 30 seconds quick when Google says you can do it in a car. So as I say, these car drivers won't make comments on Facebook about it being slow. Really don't know what they're talking about. And the TVS is coming out the upper side of the tunnel now. Not sure how long before the Bajaj is going to be there. It's certainly behind. Not sure by how much. It's 18 minutes 30, so it is a minute behind at the minute. And it is still not at the tunnel, so still looks like the Bajaj has got quite a bit of road to go. The TVS King is through the tunnel and now heading down towards the coast. Bajaj now coming up to the tunnel. 19 minutes 30 now. (19 minutes 45). So I make that 2 minutes 15 seconds slower in the RE than it was the TVS. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like the video.